Okay. This thing gonna happen. Since you're not sounding gonna happen. But the two meeting. General room will become. Sorry? Sound change from gonna happen this thing. Because I since you're gonna room change for change. Room have agent and claim share, but general room claim. Solomon. You can leave him. Hello? One time. Send me a message. I don't have the number. How you doing? How's your dad? How's your family? How's your brothers? One time. Mm. Thank you. Oh, yeah. It's a hello, 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 hello. Amos, send me a DM. Send me a DM. Send me a DM, okay? Tell me you're missing. Thank you. So that I can access it later. Okay. So here I do, brother. Yeah, I do, brother. Who is it? Open! Yo, this is the take back our country. Thank you, Amos. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Before I took we'll start in a second and a minute. So, just want to put this one. Okay, we're loaded. We're ready. Set. Hands. Everyone for joining. Thank you. Please, as you're joining, let us know wherever you're joining from. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're joining, let us know where you're joining from. All right. Okay. Thank you for joining. We don't take anything for granted. Thank you for always supporting this live stream. Thank you for always supporting this live stream. Thank you for always being a part of what we're doing. Thank you for always supporting by showing up every Sunday, 7 p.m. It could be anywhere. It could be doing all. There could be so many things you're doing, but you left it to be here. So we don't take it lightly. Thank you for joining across TikTok, across Facebook, and across YouTube. So for those that don't know, my name is Onyekwelu, just like the name of this page is the page is titled Onyekwelu Ilogo is my name. So thanks for joining. Today we're going to be discussing Japa versus your legacy. Japa versus your legacy. So I'll explain what that is. But before we dive in, please share this stream. So say you're on TikTok, long press on the screen and you see a repost button. You can do the same thing. You should be able to find that if Facebook or if you're on YouTube, a way to share this. Please share this so that others can be a part. And if you have not followed this page, there's a button on the side. Please follow it. And if you love what you're hearing and if you love what is being shared for TikTok, please double tap on the screen. Keep tapping on the screen, and you would. The more you like it, the more these pages are suggesting it to other people to be a part of it, so more people can be a part. So yes, I put together a free ebook. It's called Financial Roadmap to Financial Freedom. It's an ebook. Send me a DM saying roadmap, and it's yours. If you want to have a conversation with me, you want us to analyze your business, please send me a DM saying call, and we can have a free 10 minutes conversation. You want to join our community, send me a DM saying community, so you can join and be a part, and you stay close to the fire. That will do a lot of good for both you and for us. So this Sunday live streams every Sunday is sponsored by The Hair You Love, so you want to check them out. The Hair You Love is sponsored by D610 Homes and is sponsored by Love Family Podcast. So if you want to be a part, you want to collaborate, whatever you want to do, send us a DM. Ladies and gentlemen, I have very good news for you. For those of you that have not noticed, we are 40K on TikTok, and that's an amazing news. So I'm so excited about that. For this is an appreciation to everyone that has joined, that is part of that family. 40K on TikTok is no small feat, and we appreciate all your support. We appreciate all that you're doing. So keep it coming, keep it going. Let's keep pushing to 50K. Let's keep pushing, and let's keep pushing, and share to more people so they can be a part. Thank you for those that keep sharing and for everything that you do. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. So yes, today our topic, like I said, is Japa versus your legacy, and our theme is your lineage. So I'll take it again, Japa versus your legacy. I'll explain what Japa means for those that don't know what it means. And our theme is your lineage, your lineage, your lineage. So remember, when you join, let us know where you're joining us from. When you join, let us know where you're joining us from so that we can get to know where our audience are coming from. So what is Japa? The word Japa is a Nigerian slang from a Yoruba word language. In Nigeria, there's a language called Yoruba, and that word means what? To run swiftly or to escape. To run swiftly or to escape. Japa means to run swiftly or to escape. But in modern day times, people is normally described as to leave the country. For instance, Nigeria, Ghana. It could be to leave Canada or to live anywhere, or to leave your home country, often for better opportunities. For better opportunities to either study abroad, career, or lifestyle. So it could be for different reasons. So it's not just migration; it's also a movement. It's a mindset. Is sometimes the silent cry for survival and progress. So in short, Japa is a pursuit for a better life beyond borders. So another definition is what? Your legacy. So remember, we're talking about Japa versus your legacy. So your legacy is a lasting impact of your life. The lasting impact of your life. The values, your actions, your influences that continue to live on through others after you're gone. So it lives on through others after you are gone. It's not about what you own. It's not about what you own, but what you have built inside people, family, and society. Legacy is the story people tell when you are not in the room. So what do people say about you when you're not in the room? That's what your legacy is. When you are no more, when you're no longer on earth, people can say all manner of things. That's what your legacy is. It's how your name, your example, and your decisions shape the future long after you have moved on in life. So that's what a legacy is. Remember, we defined what Japa is. It's technically migration, and we define what legacy is, and it's technically simply, your legacy is the mark your life leaves on others. The mark your life leaves on others, emotionally, morally, and spiritually. So I'll give you examples of good legacies, so perhaps you can relate to them. Mahatma Gandhi is a good example of a good legacy, and I don't know how many of you that know that once upon a time he used to live in India. He used to live in South Africa. When he faced intense racial discrimination, I think there was even a time he was thrown away from a train that was written "All White Courage," and he returned to India, and he didn't come back empty-handed to India, but he came back with a conviction, with vision, and with a strategy to fight colonial injustice. returned home and he transformed India's destiny, and proving that migration doesn't have to mean disconnection. It can refine your mission. So Gandhi's story shows that Japa is not the problem. Moving from one country to another is not a problem. Losing your purpose abroad is the problem. So he left India to study law. He returned to lead a nation. So that's my encouragement. Another example of a good legacy is a renowned author. You can look him up on the internet. His name is Chinua Achebe. Chinua Achebe. He wrote a book called Things Fall Apart. It's a popular book. I think it's been translated, I might be wrong, but a lot of languages across the world. So you can look him up. Things Fall Apart has reshaped the global view of African identity and literature, to be precise, Nigeria. His storytelling, rooted in Igbo language and truth, inspire generations to tell their own stories. So I want to share this, So if you guys have heard about what's her name, Chimamanda Adichie, she was inspired by Chinua Achebe. So there's Chinua Achebe, the author of Things Fall Apart and other books, and there's another author called Chinua Achebe, who's Chimamanda Adichie, who's still alive. You can look her up. She has books like Americana. She has books like Half a Yellow Sun, and a book. So you can look her up. She's a lady, and she's an amazing author. But she was inspired by Chinua Achebe. So she says she has been quoted to say, "He gave me permission to write about what I knew." So she was known to have grown in a town called Nsukka in Enugu State in Nigeria, and it is said that she lived in the same house that Chinua Achebe once lived. Her writing continues Achebe's mission, that's Chinua Achebe's mission of portraying African life, culture, and migration through a modern lens. So even though she's in America, she still writes. She's like rooted, like writing about Nigeria, about Igbo language, and about Igbo people. So the legacy lesson, Achebe didn't just write books; he built a path. So that's one thing you must understand. Adichie, that's Chima Adichie, walked that path that Chinua Achebe had done, even though Chinua Achebe just wrote. Maybe I don't even think they had a conversation. It's just saying that when you are building a legacy, you don't know the impact that legacy is going to have. It outlives you. It goes more than you can imagine. That's the importance of having a good legacy. So Chinua Achebe opened the door for and Chimamanda Adichie walked through it and widened it for others. And I'm sure Chimamanda Adichie has inspired a lot of people that they now write books. I might be wrong, but if you hear anybody answering Chimamanda that named their children Chimamanda, quite a lot of them were inspired by Chimamanda Adichie. So that's to show you what a legacy can do. So remember that if someone like Chinua Achebe did not work on his own legacy, maybe I don't know, maybe there might not be any Chimamanda Adichie, and maybe some people might not be answering names or being influenced by her. So one negative example of legacy is, sorry to say, Adolf Hitler. So he's hated and he's a destruction. Hatred and destruction. Left behind genocide, I don't want to say too much. You can look him up. Adolf Hitler is not a good legacy, not someone that you want to allow your child to be molded by. His actions remain a symbol of how power without empathy destroys what? Humanity. So he built fear and not future. So it's not a good legacy. Another legacy is Pablo Escobar from Colombia. I'm sure you guys know him. So power without peace, became a symbol of wealth through what? Violence. His name inspires both fear and tragedy in Colombia, and I'm sure across the world. He gained the world, but lost his soul, and his family paid the price. So that's not a good legacy. Another legacy that I'm just trying to give you examples so we can quickly relate with them, so we know what we're discussing about. Another example is what Idi Amin, from Uganda. Abuse of power. I can name so many in Nigeria. I can name so many that you guys would know. You can look them up. He's a dictator defined by brutality and corruption in Uganda. His regime became a warning about leadership without conscience. I think there's a movie that was done. I can't remember the name. You could look it up. Just type on Google "movie about India." So you can better understand the kind of person we're talking about. He ruled but never led. So final reflection on this point is that a good legacy builds generations. A bad legacy breaks them. both leave a mark, but one heals and the other harms. So your daily choices decide which side of history your name will live on. So it's important that we have a good legacy. That's just the bottom line of what I just enumerated quickly. So we're going to discuss on, remember that the title is Japa versus your lineage, your legacy, but the theme is your lineage. So we're going to discuss what is lineage. What does it mean that someone's lineage? So your lineage is a bloodline. Your lineage, your bloodline, your ancestry is your ancestry, and your generational thread that you come from. The one you will pass on. It's not just about DNA or family trees. It's about the flow of identity, values, and legacy. Thanks for the hearts. Thanks, Jackie J, for the hearts. Thank you, Dan. That travels through time from your ancestors to you and from your descendants. Lineage is a story your bloodline has been telling for generations, and you are the current chapter. So the simple definition of your lineage is that your lineage means the family line you belong to. That's what it means. Family line belongs to your ancestors and your heritage and the future generations that will come from you. They'll come from you. So I just hope that we've been able to have an understanding of Japa, technically means migration. We had an understanding of legacy, the importance of keeping a good legacy, understanding of lineage, that's definitely you. You came from your father, your grandfather, your great-grandfather, your ancestors, and now in another, let's say, 50 years or 100 years more or more than that, for you continue your own legacy or your own lineage. So we're going to ask questions. I want to ask you questions, or let's have a conversation. Why do people, why do people relocate abroad? Why do people see the need to move from Canada to Germany? Or why do people need to move from Nigeria to UK or to different countries? Why? For many reasons, but mostly fall into this category. One, economic opportunities, seeking better jobs, incomes, living conditions, escaping unemployment and underemployment at home. Many don't leave because they hate home. They leave because they need hope. So some people also travel for what? Education and career growth. You could be working for an oil company and you get a better job elsewhere. So there's desire for a better class. So some people live for security and stability. Some people live for quality of life. Some people live for personal fulfillment. Like all their dream is that all they've been watching Jackie Chan or they've been watching Pierce Brosnan. All they've been thinking about is how to live abroad. Because some people just live for that reason, just to feel fulfilled. So the point here is that Japa is not always running from something bad. Okay, thanks. Japa is not running from something bad, it's also running towards something better. So the real question is, when you migrate or you move, are you taking your purpose and legacy with you? That's the question to ask. Or leaving them behind. So the key word is that before you Japa or before you move anywhere, remember you are carrying your family name, your values and your family story. So it's important that you are intentional about that decision. So we're going to discuss some of these things more next week, but because this is going to be like a continuation of what we're going to discuss next week. So why your lineage? This is it. Why is your lineage important? Why is your lineage important? So this is not just for a tribe or for certain people or for certain class, or no. We're going to have a conversation. Why is your lineage important? One, identity and self-understanding. So I'm going to touch this a little bit about this, and lineage helps you to know who you are and where you come from. Guys, it might look so minute. There's a movie that Jackie Chan did. It's called Who Am I? If you have ever met somebody that has got an amnesia, can't remember anything, the wife is talking to them and they're saying, hello, your name is John. They say, you mean my name is John? Or you mean, it's one of the worst things that can happen to anybody. So a lineage helps you to know who you are and where you come from. And it shapes your values and connects you to your family stories. So let's not take these things for granted. A lot of people are trying to trace theirs now. I'm going to touch that later. It talks about your lineage, talks about your health and your genetics. It's very important. Your lineage talks about your cultural and historical connections. These are very, very important things. That's why your lineage is important. Not, it's important to bear it in mind while you're abroad or while you're making that trip. So it talks about your lineage, talks about your family legacy and your family continuity. It's very, very important. It reminds you that you are part of a lasting story and encourages you to pass on your family values. These things are very, very powerful. So it's a lineage is important because it's resilient and because of because of resilience and purpose. Knowing your ancestors' struggle, knowing the things that your ancestors went through, or the successes they gained, or the things that they achieved, gives you strength and perspective and makes you grateful for what they have done. So it's very important that we have all these things in our mind, and it's very important that we know the importance of our lineage. Please, irrespective of your tribe, it's not just for this tribe or that tribe. These are the things I enumerated, are the things that encourage us on the importance of knowing why we need to maintain our lineage. So if I'm fast, please, there'll be a link in the bio, or you can check on my bio. I'm going to drop the notes, on the bio so that you can reflect on them, or you can watch this video all over again in case I missed out on anything. So I just want to share this. Whilst you're abroad, you've traveled abroad, or before you travel abroad, it's one thing to understand. If your lineage is important to you, if your lineage, your name is important to you, I want you to bear in mind that it's difficult to continue a family lineage in a foreign soil. I repeat that again. It's difficult to continue or to foster your family lineage in a foreign soil. And this is the truth. You can do your research about it. And I'm sure that a lot of things on social media is supporting the things I'm saying. So when a family migrates, they enter a culture with different values, languages, and a way of life. It's important. Over time, children born abroad may lose fluency in their native tongue. They adopt foreign cultures or customs. They grow detached from their ancestral identity. And they begin to do things the way that things are done where they are, and they begin to lose touch of where they come from. So what starts as adoption within a few generations leads to what? Assimilation, where the family name, the family tradition, and even memory of their origin fades away. These things are reality. And that's why many people believe true continuity is hard to maintain outside one's native land. Guys, it's important that we bear this in mind. You might argue with me, you might have a different opinion, but it's important that we have this at the back of our mind while we're having this conversation. So soon, the cultures, the values, the traditions, the customs, everything becomes extinct. Soon, all these things become extinct. Culture isn't just what we are. It's important that we have this in mind. Children's identity is more than just culture, more than roots. There's a lot of things, that goes with it. So it's important that we have this understanding that it's difficult to, if the lineage is important to you, it's difficult to maintain your lineage in a foreign land. We can have that conversation later. So the most realistic thing, whilst anybody can argue with me or say all manner of stuff, or it looks unconventional, while where you come from, it might not be realistic to go back to where you come from and what have you. It's kind of difficult that if nobody is there to maintain that family tradition or to maintain that family name or the lineage, that family lineage is gone. It's gone. So, and there are scriptural evidences to back all these things up. The Bible tells us in Genesis 48, Jacob blessed Joseph's sons, ensuring that the family covenant extended across generations. So these things are not just one tribe's view. No, these are biblical views as well. Boaz preserved Elimelech's lineage through marriage to Ruth, keeping the name alive in Bethlehem. That's Ruth chapter 4 verse 10. So it's important that we bear this in mind. It's difficult to sustain your lineage. If it's important to you, for some people, they don't care. Bishop Edebo says that if you don't know where you're going to, everywhere you get to will look like it. For some people, they have arrived to their dreamland, their El Dorado. Oh, I'm in London, I'm in UK, whatever. Nigeria can go to Blaze, Ghana can go to Blaze, India can to hell with India, whatever. They don't care. But for you, if it's important for you, your lineage and everything, it's important to bear in mind that it's difficult to sustain your lineage in a foreign soil, because distance dilutes tradition. While migration may be necessary, leaving one person behind is not foolish. When you see some people say, oh, the first son, I'm the first son, I'm not going to go anywhere. I just want to be here to make sure that it's not stupid of those people, especially the first son. They remain and they maintain ancestral home and everything. Guys, identity. Remember what I talked to you about? Identity is a problem. And that leads on to our next point. If you don't know where you come from, it affects self-esteem. It affects all manner of things. So I want to ask you guys this question. If you want to argue with me or you say, oh, what this guy is talking is rubbish, I'll ask you these questions. Why is it that African Americans, Caribbeans are tracing their roots back? Why? Why are there ancestry websites? Why are there people looking for where they come from? You hear people like Lil Wayne says Nigerian. I think Nicki Minaj says she's Nigerian. Some people say they are Ghanaians. What's Meghan Markle? I don't know what's her name. The lady got married to the one of the royal, I don't know, William or what she said. She's Nigerian. Why are people feeling the need, even though they're in a country where everybody's rushing to, where everybody wants to, people are crossing the ocean to come to? Why do people still feel the need to identify with the place where they call their origin? It's important that we think. Very, very important. So why do these Americans, even I've seen a documentary where some people, some guys from Brazil, they traced their roots back to Nigeria, and they were taken to Badagry in Lagos, showing them the exit routes of how their ancestors left the country. If you come to Nigeria and go to Lagos, check the ask for a place called Badagry. You can check it on YouTube or Facebook. You can watch videos of how the slaves left. Badagry is an exit point, and that was the place where a lot of the slaves left through. So these guys have traced their roots. One, they want to recover their identity. They're in America, they're in Trinidad and Tobago, they're in wherever, but they want to reclaim their heritage. These things matter to them. They want to restore their belonging because they are in those countries, but they still don't feel. They know that the story is being told that they came through ships or they came through what they call it, boats or whatever. But in them, it's not just about curiosity, it's redemption. They don't have to come back to Nigeria. They don't have to come back to Ghana. They don't have to go back to all these West African countries where they came from. It's about restoring a lineage that was once stolen. So you that have your own. Now, yes, you're not enslaved, but if you look at it very well, now it's modern voluntary slavery, modern voluntary migration of Africans seeking better lives abroad. It's almost a reverse of what happened during slavery. But it can lead to similar consequences if not handled properly. So I just want to encourage us very well. Children are born abroad may know their language, stories, or homeland, and decades later, their descendants might have to trace their roots, just like African Americans are doing right now, if care is not taken. So while you're abroad or while you're living your life abroad, it's important that we bear this in mind. So what's the lesson? If we don't intentionally preserve our lineage now, our descendants will one day have to search for it. I say God forbid. For me, I don't know about you, but I say God forbid for everybody. Because that is one of the things that give me a lot of concern for my son. I know my daughters will get married and they'll go everywhere. But for my son, that gives me concern because my lineage is important to me. As my tradition, and as a believer of the scriptures, the Bible talks about generations. We're going to go on that. I don't want to spend too much on it. So your lineage is more than blood. It's your memory. It's your faith. It's your values. You pass them through generations. So it's important. So when people migrate, they must carry their lineage consciously, teaching their children where they come from, their language, their names, and their faith. It's very important. So if we don't do that, Japa may give us wealth and comfort today, but it can also sow disconnection and identity loss tomorrow. So it's important that we bear that in mind. That's why lineage must be preserved intentionally, not geographically. Very, very important. So I'll give you guys biblical points to support what I just shared down. So in the Bible, God often reminds his people to what? Remember their forefathers, remember the covenant, remember the story. He even told them to tell their children these stories. The God of Abraham, God of Isaac, all these things are intentional. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 6 to 9. When Israel forgot its roots, it lost its direction. In the same way, preserving lineage, even in migration, is a spiritual responsibility as much as a cultural one. So let's bear in mind. So African Americans and Caribbeans trace their roots to recover what was lost. Today, Japa generation must learn from that history to preserve what they still have. Your lineage is your living inheritance. Your living inheritance. If you don't protect it abroad, your descendants may someday have to search for it. I say, God forbid for you and for me. So, practical steps for diasporans family to preserve their lineage. Remember, we're discussing Japa versus your legacy. We've talked about those. Now we're discussing, and the theme is what? Your lineage. So that's what we're talking about more now. Document your family history. So write it down, family tree. I do that intentionally. When I travel, tell my children, this is your grandfather, this is your great grandfather, this is your grandfather for your mother's side, this is your grandfather for your father's side. I do those intentionally. We take pictures. We take 3-generation pictures. If you have not done that, 3-generation pictures, we take them. We take pictures with my in-laws. All these are intentional. These are intentional. These are the things you go to the museum to watch. When I was in Warwick, I took my children to Warwick Museum. Yeah, all these things are documented. Intentionality. Let's be intentional, even though we are in foreign land. It's important. Record stories of elders. Preserve ancestry names. Give younger children generation a link to their origins. Help them understand who they are and where they came from. By your surname. Don't, without due respect to people that begin to change their surname and all that. Yes, your surname, if it doesn't give you what you want, there are still ways that you can preserve your name by your culture, by your lineage, by the names your children answer. Just like, for instance, in Nigeria, by the name you answer, people can tell where you came from, which is amazing. So let's keep the language alive. Another thing it does is that another way that we in diaspora can preserve our lineage is by keeping our language alive. I can never say this enough. I'm known to my children. I always challenge my first daughter, my second daughter, my last daughter, even my wife, to speak our language. I always challenge them to speak our language, because I'm sorry to say, but I'm not an Englishman. I'm not an Englishman, without due respect. I'm Igbo, IGBO. That's where I come from. You understand? So we might, without due respect to the British passport, I see that passport as a travel document. So I don't think it's wrong. I've seen people that are Nigerians, that are British people that were born in Nigeria, that have Nigerian passports. I've seen them. People that came, that stayed in Nigeria, they're there. But doesn't take away the British in them. They can one day wake up and go back to their town, but they have the document. But in their home, this house, is Igbo house, Igbo food, Igbo culture. This is a mini Enugu state, mini village. This is my village, mini, inside here. So preserve your culture in your own house. Speak your native language. Teach your children. Don't be ashamed of it. Be proud of who you are. Local proverbs. Yesterday I was playing our traditional music. I told my daughter, what song is this? She told me, this is again a music, So when the language is lost, a major part of identity fades away. So this is what I tell people. I find it as wickedness. If you can speak your language and your children cannot speak it, you're wicked. That's how I see it. I'm not trying to abuse you or be offended. Don't be offended by it. But I see that you're wicked, because your parents were intentional enough to give you that language, but you are wicked enough to refuse to teach your children. That's how I see it. I'm not insulting anybody, but check the word wicked and what it means. It means that you're not good. Language has impact. Language has everything. I cannot tell you enough. I've seen people that have traveled from America to come back to Nigeria just to learn their language. But you have it, but you refuse to teach it. What do I call you? Good man or good woman? I see that you are unfair, you are cruel, and you are lazy, or what? I don't know what to call it without due respect to you. Teach your children your language. English is not your language. Matter of fact, your children will speak more of your language than you. They will teach you the English. They'll teach you the English. When you speak, they'll correct you and tell you that thing you're saying, I'm not pronouncing it well. I get that a lot from my teenagers and people I work with. So it's very important, guys. Our language is one way to preserve our heritage or preserve our lineage. Very important. Celebrate Your culture. I want to say that another way is what? Celebrating cultural traditions, food, music, customs, even abroad. Do that. You know, we go for in my place, my village, we have these village meetings. So I take my children to them. We're having an end of year party in next 2 months. I make sure they're there. Anything like if there's a birthday party or something that in Nigeria, we go there. You know, if we want to wear our native attire as in Igbo is Ishagu, for Yoruba is Adire and all those things. For Hausa, they have their own. For Edo, they have their own Bini and everything. Do those things. Those practices keep your family connected emotionally and spiritually. Very, very important. That the fact that you're abroad. Don't you see Indian people, the way they dress? Are we more, I don't want to talk down ourselves. See Pakistani people. See, they keep they are very learned people, but they keep these things. See Polish people, Lithuania. Why do we now reach our own turn? We now feel that, all this stuff we're doing, no, them. Even from the name you give your children, it shows, without due respect, that this inferiority mentality is getting into our minds. So please, it's important that we do this. You stay connected to your homeland. I always pray to God. I say, Lord, please bless me so that every single year I'll take my family home to my village. If not anybody, my son. You understand me? Every single year, that's what I play. It's not cheap, guys. To go to Spain, go to Turkey, go to New York is even cheaper than going to Nigeria. You understand me? To even go to China is even cheaper. China is far. It's cheaper than going to Nigeria for the same fare. If you are not intentional, your children are lost. They are gone with the wind abroad. What I'm trying to do here, trying to get us to the mind where we are intentional, so that these things don't take us by surprise. Not that when you get to old age, you now begin to say, I do not know. Oh, I do not know. No, this is to create an awakening amongst us, so that we don't lose our lineage and realize late. That the whole idea is to realize now. Technology, use technology. Record family interviews. My dad was here, my house, about a year ago, and we did a what do you call it, a podcast together. And all I was trying to do was picking his brain, bringing out everything in his mind. When I go, we're going to see him by God's grace in December. We're going to do another one, recording his mind, the things in his mind, keeping them for the children, for my children, for the children unborn, and sharing them out to people to learn. Preserve your family interviews, digitalize archives, create spaces online, family website, WhatsApp, whatever you need to do. Use technology, leverage them. That way you can protect your lineage. Teach core values. Faith. Teach those things. The children need them now. We're lacking them. The homes are lacking them. People don't have, but no character, nothing. Teach them. Say to them. Do you know that there are things that we used to say those days? They say, "Oh, you are bringing shame to our family name." How many people say them now? Now shame is everywhere. People do all manner of things. Nobody cares to family name. No. What has happened is deterioration, westernization of things. There's a price to pay for this Japa thing. Make sure you're not caught up in the web. It's important. So teach your children these values, define your ancestors, respect integrity, community, and faith. Very important. Then another point is what? The importance of relocating back. I know some people don't like to hear this one. The importance of what? Relocating back. Some people don't like to hear this one. All they want me to hear, just say the one that is going forward. Guys, whether you agree or don't agree, we've had that conversation earlier. You cannot foster your family lineage in another man's land. It's not possible. At least one person should remain back or plan to go back. If your lineage is important to you, your family heritage is important to you, at least one person should go back to preserve the heritage. I've seen people that have stayed here, they realized late, they've made mistakes, maybe they got married to people from different parts of the world, and they've seen that, there was no intentionality, maybe finances or whatever, to either go back or whatever, and they realize that these children, for one reason or another, are never going to go back to their country, and they go back to Nigeria to go back. I don't know about Ghana, but I'm saying the one I know. Go back to Nigeria and go and get married again and start all over at old age. God forbid. You understand? So start now. Whilst you are pursuing to go abroad, bear these things in mind. While everybody cannot go back, but even if it's one family member, it keeps the family ancestry home alive. Guys, it's not about the wealth in the village or maybe you have land. No. Do you think that the people, the Black Americans that are in Brazil or in America or in Trinidad and Tobago, do you think that they are not getting good things there? They are getting it, but there's something in them that tell them that we don't come from this place. There's even traces that say there's a place in Brazil. They eat akara, they speak Yoruba, they do a lot of things. Those people, in their mind, they know that yes, we're in Brazil, no, we're here. But look at where we come from. I think even in Portugal, the same thing. So it's important that we bear all these things in mind. Now, if there's no intentionality, if relocating back doesn't have to mean abandoning what you're doing abroad. No, that's not what I'm saying. It can mean building a bridge between home and the diaspora. This balance allows the lineage to stay stronger, stay grounded, yet deeply, yet global, deeply rooted, but still thriving anywhere. So this is me. I've had a conversation with my wife. We've had an understanding. By the grace of God, before I turn 50, the plan is to what? Fully, you understand? So I'm talking about like 7 years from now, and it's intentional. It doesn't happen by accident. You don't wake up one day and go, and all of a sudden you run back again. No. It's intentional because I'm the first son of my family, and I'm intentional that I have my own first son with me, and if nothing is done, he's gone with the wind, whether you like it or not. As the more they stay integrated, I've had an argument with some people, and they said to me, with all due respect to you or to your views or whatever, they say that their children's their dream or their hope is that their children will become prime minister. That's not my own dream. That's not my own dream. In fact, matter of fact, for me, I see it as I wasted my own generation wasted, because there's no how you can be a prime minister of this country without being embedded into the system of this country. And if my own first son is embedded system, who will continue my family lineage? So forget all these things that people are saying. See, hold your view, I hold my own view. What's important to you might not be important to me. You understand? For me, this was important to me. Bible backs up these views that I'm claiming. So in Deuteronomy 30 verse 5, Bible say God often told the people, remember the land I gave you. Remember the land I gave you. So physically or spiritually, what part? Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Femi. What part of preserving the covenant is passing to future generations is important that we bear that in mind. So as I summarize, teach your children. Remember your roots. Remember your roots. Then teach your children. You're in another man's land. They are telling you leave our country. You're in Ghana. They are chasing you away. You're in UK. They're chasing you away. You're in Netherlands. They're chasing you away. Teach your children. Stay connected to home. And when possible, return to the natural soil. It's not a crime. You can go back. If you're not living in Sudan or somewhere where there's crime or war, whatever. It took people like Mahatma Gandhi to go back to their country to fix the country. It took people like Nnamdi Azikiwe, all these people, Buffalo and all over, they were all diasporans, and they went back. Look all through scriptures, from Joseph to Nehemiah to, I want to name them, they're all diasporan people, and they went back home to fix their country. If you like Nigerian food, ordering Nigerian food, go to Nigerian shop, African shop, Ghana food, watch it, everything, go back home and fix your country. So a tree can spread wide branches across the world, but only if its roots remain strong and fed. So a lot has been shared and a lot has been said. I just want to thank you for consistently following this page. God bless you all. So drop your biggest takeaway, whatever you have learned, drop it. Thank you, Amos, for dropping it. Like this page, guys, tap long press on the screen to share this page and let us know your biggest takeaway. If you want to join our community, send me a DM and I can add you on. This chat is sponsored by this live stream is sponsored by the How You Love, D610 Homes, and Love Family Podcast. So as I get people on, show indications if you want to be a part of it. Let me know. As many that want to join, either on Facebook or LinkedIn. Sorry, Facebook or what's it called? Or what's it called? Sorry, just on Facebook and TikTok. You can't join through any other link, please, guys. So if I've added you, I can just take only a few because our time is fast spent. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. If you have any comments or what you want to say, please, as we wrap up this So guys, I'll try to post. Let me try and see if I can post the link on. Better still, guys. If you can join through TikTok, better still. But if you can't join, I understand. Who do we have on? Alken. Alken, thanks for joining. Please let us know your thoughts about what has been shared so far. Hello, can you hear me, Alken? Hello? Alken.
We'll get in touch.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, go ahead. What are your thoughts about what I've shared? Any comments, any questions or any thoughts?
Well, you're saying the truth. It's always good to be, to know, to recognize the country where you came from, and then as well to allow your lineage, to respect that home, not so that you don't forget where you come from. It's always very important, and even establishing that through the children, through the family, it's a good thing. And now that we begin to realize what you've shared, I think it's good to really take that on board. And that's just what I want to add. I want to congratulate you for sharing that. It's been very wonderful. Well done.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless you, and thank you for coming on to share your thoughts. Very much appreciated. Thank you. Let me add Jatu Alpha. What are your thoughts?
I do, brother.
Nice to hear you. Please.
Okay. Thank you very much for always opening our eyes every Sunday to newer things. Believe me, you're a blessing to our generation.
Yeah, give God glory.
I like the last line you discussed with your wife that when you're 50, you're going to go back. And I can tell you for a fact that most people who have come to this country is not really because we really want to be here. Because, like I always say to people when I meet them, that this country, apologies to the country anyway, it does make people and families stay away from each other. It creates a barrier when you newly come into the country because you need to establish yourself. It makes you stay far away from family. I am at work now, my wife is at home. This is what happens. You keep staying away from each other. And I've also told my wife that we are going to go back. I've never wanted to stay this place long enough to, like you said, lineage. You need to constantly be in touch with where you came from. The country where you came from, your family. Sometimes I'm always at work. I'm always thinking about work between. I'm always thinking about this work and work and work. There's no time for family bonding. There's no time for having friends. And thank you very much. I think our eyes are open now, and then we can plan. It's not because you've said it today, but these will always make families. When we listen to you every Sunday, yes, we can take the path we want to take, and then you leave the other path you don't want to take. But I can tell you that most of the things you said, it's what me and my wife has always thought about. It's what we have always dreamt about. It's what we always want to do. We want to have a business here. We want to have that same business in Nigeria, and then we can spend more time as a family together in Nigeria. Thank you very much, sir.
God bless you for your thoughts and for putting them across. Very much appreciated. I don't know about you guys. There's some things that make my heart bleed. You see someone that, where you from? Oh, my parents are Nigerians or my parents are Ghanaians, but I'm British. My children say that one. Me and them will have serious problem. You understand? You will never hear them ever say that. Ever say that. They will never say that. They will never say that they're British. No, they have a document. Because no matter how long you stay in this country, these people, with all due respect to them, never accept you. Never accept you. My people say, "Onya jula jada jomwe." What do you mean that somebody that sorry there, someone that sorry, if you want to join, can you join through TikTok? Because I sent that link. I don't know if you can see it. It's called if you want to make a comment, preferably through TikTok, please. I can send you a link through TikTok. You know, you want to make a comment quickly. We have our time is fast spent. Preferably through TikTok. If you click on, let me see if I can find. You can just find me on TikTok, or if you click on this link, you can find me. Sorry, guys. I hope I don't forget the line of thought I had. So, if you join on TikTok, send me a message, and I can add you on, and you can drop your thoughts. Because I'm still trying to understand these technicalities of multi-streaming across different platforms. Please, sorry to put you guys under any inconvenience or something, but it's much easier for me to understand through TikTok. Or you can try and click on the link I put in the what's it called, on the Facebook chat. That can bring you on to have a chat. Well, how many join with this link? Okay, guys. Yeah, so my people say what it means is that someone that was rejected does not reject himself, you know. So I don't blame them. If you are rejected, please, don't feel rejected. Just know that you are here temporarily. This is one thing I love about Abraham. Bible says, Abraham, for he was looking forward to a city that was built by God. Therefore, he did not make for himself a house. Instead, he built for himself a tent. So I always tell my teenagers and people I work with, have a pilgrim mentality. Have a pilgrim mentality. Have a sojourner's mindset. I'm going somewhere. Don't get relaxed. Don't get comfortable. While you're doing what you're doing, you're prospering, you're getting a good job, you're doing this, you're adding. Always have in mind that I'm going somewhere. I came from somewhere and I'm going somewhere. I remember when I was coming to this country, when I was writing the form, when I was coming to my master's degree, they were telling us to give reasons why you will come back. And I wrote the things there. Let's not get comfortable and forget where we come from or lose our lineage. Thank you, Lillian, for joining. Please kindly share your thoughts on the topic and maybe a question or whatever you have to say. Thank you. God bless you.
Okay. Hello.
Hello, everyone. I can hear you loud and clear. Yeah.
You can hear me, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hello? You can hear me, right?
Loud and clear. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to say that's a very interesting topic. You've just talked about heritage, where we come from, orientation, and everything. It's very, very important. I live in the UK with my daughter, and I can say 100% how she is, her love and passion for Nigeria, where she comes from. She's always interested to speak the language. She's always interested in the food. Yeah, even though we're planning to travel this Christmas, she's been telling me, oh, you will take me to the stream, you will take me there. You could see the passion. Yes, she lives in the UK, but Nigeria, Africa lives in her. She is pure. She's so excited where she comes from, her heritage. And generally, I just want to say that there was this incident that happened a few years ago with one lady, even though she just came out to tell that story early this year. Many people might know the story about Ifunanya, who lives in abroad with her family and her dad.
Yeah, I remember that.
And one question that everybody was really, really happy to know about was that Ifunanya's dad brought her home. Because with the whole incident, if Ifunanya, people were asking her, I think on TikTok, how did you know your place? How did you do that? She said her dad took her home. Her dad did this, and that there were some landmarks until she got home to her place, I think either Enugu or Anambra State, to rescue her dad. So I just want to believe, I don't know the mindset of people, but I think it's an eye-opener for many people about the importance of your heritage, because there was nothing wrong for her dad to say, oh, you know what, I just want to go home. Maybe he's retired, I think, from that story, and wants to go and leave home. And many people know that story. Maybe one day you can use it as well to portray or collaborate what you're saying, because as you were talking, my mind went there. So the good thing was, if Naya was able to go home, if not, even if it was once, I don't know if she went home multiple times, but she went home. And that was how she was able to rescue her dad. So it's very, very important, our heritage. We don't come abroad and then we forget where we come from. Even as is it 2 or 3 days ago, I was talking to a friend, a colleague, and I said, I don't like the fact that we're here and you hear some people say, oh, I don't want to go back. Oh, I don't have any. No, it's wrong. Anything can happen tomorrow, just like you said. The passport. Yeah, most of us have the passport. But like you said, ask me where that passport is now. I don't know. With due respect for having it, with the privilege, I'm privileged to have that passport. But Onyekwelu, ask me where it is. I'm very sure I'm going to start looking for it when I want to travel.
Yes.
It's just a travel document. Yes, that's what it is. But this, it's very, very important that we don't forget our heritage and that we carry our children along. Like I said, I'm not going to say I'm going to start now to begin to talk to my daughter. She's already, that is, in fact, it's every time, once a week, anytime when I speak Igbo, and she said, Mom, I don't think it's the correct thing. I said, come on, I'm telling you, and you said, no, Mommy, that is not the, Yeah. So what I'm trying to say, she already wants to learn more. She really wants to learn more. Let me don't take much of your time. Thank you very much.
No, thank you for putting your thoughts across, and they're very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Our time is fast spent, guys. That is the much we can take. Maybe I might be able to squeeze in one person. Let me see. This is D Edits. I don't know if you're still interested in putting your thoughts across. If we can't get him across, then we'll just wrap up with these thoughts and that's it. Okay. Thank you very much for everyone that has made the efforts to put their thoughts across. You can also type your comments as well. If you're not comfortable on coming on to share your thoughts, please type your thoughts as well, or you can send me a DM or what have you. But I just want to leave this, like Lillian just mentioned. Now I've heard some people say things like, I think I was irritated when I heard that. I did a long time ago, maybe like 10 years ago. Somebody said, oh, Nigeria is a place where you go when you retire. Oh, my brother. By the time you go to that place where you retire, I don't want to say much, but D-Edit, I tried to add him, whoever it is, but D-Edit, I tried to add you, but I can't find you. Sorry about that. You can send me, you can add again, say a message again, and I can add you. Anyways, people say things like, I never want to go back to Nigeria, I never want to go back to Ghana, I never want to go back to anywhere. It's your choice. But if they say, like the way Jews were chased away from different parts, if one day they chase you back, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What would you do? So, except you want to wake up, some people have, God has designed them to be abroad, good and fine. But for me, I know that everything about me is wired about Nigeria. So I don't know about you. So you and your God decide what you want to do. I leave it to yourself. But I see it as a shame when somebody like Tosin Adarabioyo, with all due respect to him, the Chelsea player, was asked on television, public TV, where do you come from? He couldn't really tell. What part of, I think he said the States. What part of that state you come from? He couldn't really answer. You will get that from my children. Understand me? What Igbo people say, sorry to say, a fool. In other words, this person is gone. You understand? And it's classed as a shame, that this person is gone. The person doesn't have no understanding, For some people, it's okay. For me, it's not okay. It's not okay. That's why sometimes I get irritated, or without due respect, this is a different conversation next time. When some people are giving offers to come and play for Nigeria and they are busy, be like this. I don't want to, that's a different conversation another time. So I just want to encourage us as we round up, please be mindful of, yes, your Japa dream, but mindful of your legacy, one. Be mindful of what? Your lineage, very important. So I want to thank everybody for your time, for always coming here every Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time. I want to really appreciate you guys. Thank you to my wife, my children, and to my PA. Thank you very much for all the things you do. And to my social media manager, thank you for everything you guys do. So please follow this page if you have not followed it already. Like this page, like and share. Long press, and you can share this. You can share it later. You can rewatch this on YouTube. You can rewatch it on Facebook. You can't watch it on TikTok. Sorry, guys. So please drop your biggest takeaways, your comments here. You can send me a DM, and I can repost it so other people can learn. Let us know what you watched and what you gained. Please remember that next week, Sunday, we meet here at the same time, and we're going to be discussing before you Japa, because whenever I travel to Nigeria, these are the conversations I always have. People are asking me questions about this. When I go to the village, people are asking me questions about this. So I think it's important that I address these things and put it out there on social media so people can begin to have this question. But some people want to truly forget their past and origin. Chicken is a choice for those people that want to, but it's not advisable, it's not scriptural, and I'm sure a lot of traditions corroborate to what I'm saying. So remember, if you want to have a conversation with me, a 10 minutes DM live. If you want the roadmap, my ebook DM roadmap. If you want to join our community DM community, remember that this live stream is sponsored by the Hair You Love, it's sponsored by D610 Homes, and sponsored by Love Family Podcast. So check them out, please. As I end this stream, I want to leave these thoughts with you, reminding you of what we discussed. Remember your roots. Remember your roots. Remember your roots. Very, very important. Even if you are abroad, remember where you come from. Remember where you come from. Teach your children your language. Very important. Teach them your roots. Teach them who you are. The world needs uniqueness. The world doesn't want everything to be English, British, American. No. The world needs spice. I always talk about the movie called Madagascar. I think it's the part 2. It was very interesting when they had someone from Mexico, someone from France, a voice from England. It was nice. Imagine that whole thing was America. It would be nice, it would be okay, but when they put the spice of the Mexican character, it was amazing. That's what the world needs from you. That's what it needs from you. So be proud of who you come from, proud of where you come from. So stay connected to home. Stay connected to home. Do things for home. Send money back home. Bless them. Call them and they'll tell them the school in the village. What do you need in that village? What can we do for you? How can we help you? The care center, hospital, what do we need to do? Do something, bless the people. Nehemiah was abroad. Nehemiah, read your Bible. Nehemiah was abroad. He could have stayed there and relaxed, but he was calling and saying, what's happening in our village? They told him, you gotta meet the king and say, I need to go and fix the walls in my village that's fallen down. He was a diaspora like me and you. The same thing with Joseph, diaspora. Connect with home. When possible, return to your natural soil, if possible. Return to your natural soil. Thank you, Chicken. Thank you very much. And remember what I said to you guys, a tree can spread their branches across, but only if the roots remain strong. So I just want to wrap up with these final thoughts, and our time is fast spent. There's always a price to pay for jackpine. So if you're not intentional, some people realize late. Don't realize late. My bishop always says it's never too late to get it right. So start now to start taking action so that your lineage doesn't go away. If lineage is important to you, it's not important to a lot of people. Though. I've seen some people, their children are in their 20s, they've never set their foot before in anything called Nigeria. They've gone to Spain, they've gone to Turkey, they've gone to Germany, they've gone to New York, but to go to Nigeria is a problem. I feel more scared when I go to America than when I go to Nigeria. I tell my wife, don't argue with anybody. Me, I'm not going to argue. Because somebody can pull out a gun and do what? And show you his right, First Amendment rights. But you don't get that in Nigeria. Don't get me wrong. There are things that go on in Nigeria and all that. But somebody stabbed somebody in a London bus 40-something times in the public of everybody. So nowhere is safe. So let's not even go there. So I want to encourage you, be intentional so that your Japa dream does not take you by surprise. I've said that. Be intentional so that you don't lose your lineage if it's important to you. So let the pursuit of survival or sustenance not erode your legacy or your lineage. Very important. And I'm sure you guys have learned a thing or two. I have been blessed. I've learned from the things you share. But what I can always say to you, remember, that the wise always invest. Invest in your lineage, invest in your legacy, invest in whatever will make you a better person. Always invest. I have it on here. The wise always invest. Do whatever it takes to invest, and you can never go wrong. Peace. God bless you. See you next Sunday. And I'm out. Bye.